Alright everybody, welcome to a Fang Scroll tutorial. Today we're going to be going over the instructions of setting up Streamlabs OBS, or SLOBS for short, for your first initial use. This is going to hopefully assist you guys getting your foot in the door if you want to start streaming and utilizing a streaming software that is very user-friendly. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So once you download SLOBS, you're going to want to open it up, and this is what you're going to see. You'll log in via the platform that you're going to be using. So if you're using Twitch, you'll log in via Twitch. If you're using something else, you'll log in via that, YouTube, Facebook, blah, 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 whatever Streamlabs or SLOBS has integrated into for streaming platforms. So to start this video off, we're going to be talking about the layout. This is my layout, and this is what I use during my streams. I prefer this layout, and it's everything that I need, and it's what I like to see. You guys can change this layout based on how you see fit by coming down here to the bottom, these four little boxes. You click Layout Editor. You can select from one of these 8 templates, and then you can drag and drop any of them that you want in any order that you want. So my editor display, that's your playback. Mini feed is anything that you're linked to, so Twitch. Scene selector handles your scenes. Audio, obviously. Sources is your background, your brow overlays, stuff like that. I have legacy events because I like a backup on the mini feed in case I miss something. So it's like a fallback for me. But that is how you adjust your layout to what you want it to be, okay? And then to get back to your editor, you just come up here to the top left and you click Editor. So first things first, we are going to be talking about scenes and scene collections. So in here, we have it set up for Fang Scrolls because that's what we're doing. But by clicking Manage All, it'll give you the option to create a brand new scene should you choose, or a scene collection, I apologize. So if you want, like for example, I have the All thing, and then I have my gaming, and I have Fang Scrolls, which I created not too long ago. You can create a brand new one if you want, and then once it's done, you click the check mark, and then that scene will be created. Or you can hit delete, and it'll delete it. And then we'll hit done. And then you can select which one you want by simply clicking and going to that scene collection that you have set up. But for the time being, since we're doing the initial setup, we'll leave it on Fang Scrolls. That takes us to our actual scenes themselves. So our scenes themselves, this is where you'll see it, okay? So right now we have main. This will normally say starting, or it'll say scene or something like that. I'd probably say scene. But right clicking it, you can just rename it to whatever you want. So I rename mine to main, obviously. We'll leave it as is. These scenes, for example here, we'll just do one right now. We'll just create the starting scene. So there we go, we created starting. And then we'll move this up by clicking and dragging to the top because it's our starting scene. Now, each of these scenes has sources in it, and those sources are what display during your stream. So if we come over here to our sources box, we'll notice it's empty, and we have a black screen in our editor. So we'll click this plus, and that'll bring it up. Now, for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to leave this box alone because this is SLOBS integrated widgets. So we're not going to touch that because I use Stream Elements, and that's what the next tutorial video will be on, is incorporating Stream Elements into your SLOBS interface. But for the time being, we're going to go with this. So we are going to add a background to our starting screen because we don't want them to be staring at a black screen when we start our stream up, obviously. So we're going to hit image, and then you can select any one of these 6 items. That's right, 6 items here. Ping, JPEG, GIFs, TGAs, or bumps. We're going to click add source. Now we're going to do, we'll do starting back is what we'll name it. Now, I like to name my sources corresponding to what they're in, should it need be. So for example, this background may not be the same background we have on, let's say, our Be Right Back screen. So I like to name it starting back so it differentiates later down the road for the more scenes that we create. We're not jarbling and confusing ourselves. So we'll hit add source, and then it'll bring up this window, and we can select what image we want to use. Now, I'll hit browse. And then I have my Fangbone Gaming ones that I have. So we'll just use the starting screen from that one. Boom, it'll pop up. It'll load it, and there it is. So you can use unload image when not showing, but then it has to reload when you switch scenes, which could take a minute and could bog some CPU up. So just leave that unchecked. And then hit done. Now, it's off kilter and it doesn't fit right. So there's 2 options to this. You can come over here and right click this and go to transform, and then hit fit to screen, or you can click on the image itself, right click, transform, fit to screen, and now it's fit to the screen and it's the size that it needs to be. technically speaking, our starting screen is done. However, comma, what about the audio? A lot of streamers like to play music when they start via Pretzel Rocks or Twitch Soundtrack. With that being said, this right here in the mixer section is going to be key for everything, okay? This desktop audio, this is what the viewers will hear when you're streaming. So you want to come over here to this cog, you want to click the settings, you want to come down here to properties, and you want to make sure it's set to playback into whatever your headset is. So I'm using my Corsair headset. If you guys have an, whatever it is, Steel Series, an Arctis, whatever it is, you want to select the headset that you're using while you're playing your game so that your stream can hear you. So select your headset and then hit done. And now anything that plays via this, via my headset, so if I have music in the background, you guys would hear music playing. And then your microphone is the same exact thing. Go to settings, properties, and then select the microphone that you're using and then hit done, and now you've got it. And then with this being said, you can also add filters to your microphone. So if you have a microphone and you don't want a lot of noise, I've added a noise suppression filter to mine with a -17 suppression level, and I'm keeping it on low CPU usage because it's not too important and this does enough. But you can set that filter on there, apply it, and then the noise suppression will come on so you don't pick up background crap. But in all intents and purposes, that is the starting scene. So we are going to move on to our actual main gaming scene, okay? So we'll come over here and we'll click main, and we'll notice that it's a black screen and we have no sources. So it's time to add our first source, which is going to be our actual game screen, what we want the viewers to see while we're playing a game. Now, this next part is simply going to be how I do things. Everybody does this differently. A lot of people use game capture, a lot of people use window capture, a lot of people use display capture. It's whatever you want to do. All of the games I play windowed because I interact with my streams. I like to be able to alt tab out of my game or go over and adjust something or change something or click on something outside of the game without causing a bunch of issues. And so what I'll do is I will window all of my games. So with that being said, we're going to set up SLOBS for a windowed game, okay? So we'll come over here to our sources and we'll click this plus sign. And then we'll come down here. So display capture will capture everything that you see up here. This is a display capture, everything. Game capture will capture an individual game. This has been known to cause issues with some streamers. So I default always set window capture. So we'll click window capture and then we'll click add source, and then we can name this whatever we want. Now, since this is going to be our game window, we'll name it game window. Boom, game window added. Now, this will capture anything we set it to. So if we have like Apex or Destiny 2 or something running, we can select from this drop down and we can do it. Now you're gonna have to play with this, okay? The capture method. Sometimes when you're in windowed mode on games, you will have to come down here to window graphics capture and then come back up here and select what you want to select via the game window. The only reason why you have to do that is because you're doing a windowed game and you're setting up a window capture. You've got to adjust the capture method to apply accordingly. A lot of the time in my streams, if I set this capture method to automatic and then I select my game, there will be a static image displayed. Because I'm using a windowed display of the game, I'll have to come in here and change this to Windows Capture so it actually shows all the action and everything that's going on in game. Now you can select to capture the cursor if you want. See, the cursor's hidden. Or you can choose to not select the cursor. And then the client area, this is extra space that's given to the actual display. So play around with that to find what you like, but that is also streamer preference. So remember, window capture, select the game that you want to play on, and then make sure you have the correct capture method. Don't do bit by bit. Do automatic or Windows graphics capture. Those are the best two. And then window match priority, just leave that alone. And you'll hit done. And now, if you have an actual game window like Apex, for example, or Minecraft or Borderlands, you know what? We'll go ahead and do Minecraft right now. Let me kick open Minecraft. There we go. Okay, cool. So now if I double click on game window and we come up here to automatic, we can come down here to Minecraft. Ding, and there it is. Now Minecraft isn't windowed, so we can set the default this to automatic, and it'll pick up Minecraft. Okay. We'll hit done, and then I will go over to Minecraft and let me full screen this. So now if we want to just clean up where it's at, we'll fit to screen, and boom, Minecraft is now open on that game window. So now that we have Minecraft open, we have our game view, we have our game captured in our scene, we want to add our video capture if you're choosing to use a webcam. So we're going to come back over here to our sources box, and we're going to click on the plus sign, and then we're going to come down here to video capture device, and we're going to add source. And then we're going to click and add webcam for the title or the name of the source. Hi there. So now you can select which USB device you want, or webcam if you're using a laptop, whatever the case may be, you can select it here. Configure crosshair. I leave all of this alone. You guys can play with this if you want. I just simply add the USB video capture device. Now, if your webcam has a microphone on it, you will have to silence that via your audio mix, and I'll show you how to do that as soon as we hit done here. Okay, now see here, we have webcam. We'll have to either drop the sound all the way down, I mute it, and then I select and I hide it. So now the webcam's not even a part of anything, and no audio will be picked up by my webcam. It'll simply be picked up by my microphone. So now that we have our webcam up, we can move it anywhere we want. You guys will notice on my streams, I size it down a bit, and then I set it right about there because I have stuff below and above. But this is now movable, and you can put it anywhere you want, and you now have a webcam. So now not only will your streamers see Minecraft all around, but they'll also see you inside of your webcam right here in the center, in your little webcam box. Okay. And then that's simply by adding a source video capture device and renaming it to webcam. We now have a webcam on our screen. And you'll also notice you guys can hear the desktop audio from Minecraft because I have this desktop audio in the properties, again, set to my headset. So make sure you remember to set up your desktop audio as well as your microphone audio. And for all intensive purposes, for getting your stuff ready, we are done with our main game screen. Okay, so moving on from here, if you guys want a be right back screen, I highly recommend it. You have to take bathroom breaks, you have to get up and stretch. It's almost mandatory. So for a be right back screen, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new scene. So we're going to come over here to our scenes, and we're going to click plus, and then we're going to click we're going to select, and we're going to name it be right back, or you can select BRB for just simple annotations. Now you notice our screen is black and we have no sources, so we're gonna have to add a source. Now since it's a be right back screen, we don't need a webcam. We can just simply add a source, we can add an image, add a source. Now it's going to give you the option to select a previously uploaded image. Since we already have images added, this is what I was talking about, we don't want to use starting back. Remember, we're using a different background for this. So we're going to come down here to add new source instead, because it's for our be right back, not for starting. And we're going to name it BRB back. BRB back. And we're going to add the source, and then we'll browse for the file. We'll select which one we want. We'll wait for it to load. We'll hit done. And then again, we'll come up here, we'll transform, and we'll hit fit to screen, and boom, our be right back screen is done. We now have nothing else to do. Obviously, you'll want to integrate alerts and stuff like that, and don't worry. Our next video, the next Fang Scroll video that comes out, will go over how to incorporate Stream Elements overlays into your SLOBS interface on your desktop, so that you guys can customize your overlays and add some interaction for your viewers. So going back, we started with one scene and we made it our own. We created a game overlay with the window capture, And we also did webcam with video capture device. We adjusted our desktop audio to play back out of our headsets, since that's what we're gaming with, as well as we changed our mic to the corresponding microphone that we're using. We set up a starting screen with a background in it, and we made sure desktop audio, obviously desktop audio will go over everything, it'll handle that. And then we did our be right back screen as well. Now, you do have the option to transition and add transitions between these. So, for example, if you notice, it just kind of pops to each screen, and it doesn't really do much as far as capturing and making things pretty, you know what I mean? So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, we'll go to starting first, and then we'll come to this, that cog and scenes, and it'll allow you to edit the transition type that you have. Now, I have a stinger transition. You guys can download stinger transitions, and you can change it, and by adding a transition, name it whatever you want, and you can change the type. Now, there are a bunch that are already predefined, but stinger allows you to do an interactive video type of transition, like the one I have for my gaming stream. But we'll just do Luna White. Duration will be 300 milliseconds. Linear horizontal. You could do barn door horizontal. Look at that. And then softness. I've never done one of these, so this is the first time. So we'll select Luna transition or Luna wipe, and then we'll hit done. And now if we come over here, it does a wipe. See that? So that's, and you can change that. If you don't like the Luna wipe, you can come in here and edit, and you can change it to a slide, and you can change to the right, hit done, done, and then when you change it, everything slides. And that's how you handle the transitions, so you can keep things kind of interesting and poppy for your streams. And then just to round this whole video out and to end the tutorial, we are going to add our ending scene. So we're going to click plus in our scenes. We're going to name it ending blank, obviously. We're going to come in here, we're going to add our background. So we're going to hit image, add source, and because it's its own individual scene background that we want, we're going to add a new source, and we're going to name it end back. You can name it whatever you want. And then we're going to browse for it. We're going to select our ending image that we want. We'll hit done. We'll right click it, transform, fit to screen. Boom. Now our ending screen is done. So for all intents and purposes, SLOBS is now set up in the most basic way so that you guys can stream and get your foot in the door in the streaming community. One more thing I do want to run over is hotkeys. I am a firm believer in hotkeys. Hotkeys allow you to switch your scenes without having to worry about. Let me close Minecraft out. So it allows you to change your scenes without interrupting anything during gameplay, and you can swap between them super easy. Just really easy customization, and it's a nice feature to have. So we're going to come down here on the left side, over here to the settings, down on the bottom left, and then we're going to come up here to hotkeys, right here on the left hand side, and then we're going to scroll down to scenes. This scenes. Then for starting, we're going to open it up. We're going to scroll down to switch to scene. Now, be aware, the more alerts, overlays, the more stuff that you have on your scene, all the sources, the more sources you have, the more options are going to be here. So you may have to scroll a little further down inside this menu to find switch to scene. When you click there, you can hit it. I normally set it to between F4 and F10. Those are my scenes. That gives me a lot of different scenes to work with, and none of those keys interfere with any games. So we'll set starting to F4, and we'll close it. We'll set main. See how there's more options here. We'll set main to F5, and then we'll set be right back to F6, and then we'll set ending to F7, and then we'll hit done. Now let's say your stream starting screen has been up for about 3 minutes and you're ready to start gaming. Instead of having to click inside of Streamlabs OBS, you can be in your game and just simply hit F5, and it'll swap over to your gaming screen. And then if you need to go take a potty break, you can hit F6, and it'll swap over to your be right back screen. And if you need to end your stream for the night, you can hit F7 and it'll end your stream. And then let's say you're at Be Right Back and you're like, okay, cool, I'm back from going potty, let's play the game again. You just hit F5 and you go back to your game screen. So hotkeys, hotkeys, hotkeys. But yeah, that will round out the tutorial for setting up SLOBS or Streamlabs OBS to the absolute most initial state so that you guys can begin streaming. The next video will incorporate Stream Elements overlays and how to add those browser sources to your streams themselves. And we may even go over how to customize some of the alert widgets that come with Stream Elements themselves. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments section below. Thank you again so much for being a part of this video, and make sure to watch out for the next one for the Stream Elements incorporation. And we will see you all on the streams. Skål to everybody here.